Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, as always, let's take a quick look outside our much warmer weather window from today. Yeah, we had a warm up over yesterday. Yesterday's high temperature 88. We got into the 90s today, and you wonder why with all that beautiful blue sky out there as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley. And that's from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera. And what a great shot that is today. I love these days around north central Washington when there isn't a cloud in the sky and it's nice and warm. We just have a few more days of summer, so get out there and enjoy it. But if you are enjoying the outdoors this weekend, be very, very careful. It is tinder dry all around north central Washington. We've had 2.66 inches of moisture since the January 1st, and that is well below where we need to be. So when you're out, watch out with the campfires. You're not supposed to be burning anyway, but be careful with those lit cigarettes and things like that because it is so dry out there. And we could see some wind beginning Sunday and then once again into Monday. But first, we'll tell you about the hot weather coming up in weather a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Authorities are trying to identify two young men shown on camera in the Lake Chelan School District office early Wednesday morning. The state of Washington is suing the nation's #1 maker of e-cigarette products. And two people from Tennessee were injured when a tree fell on their vehicle on Highway 2 west of Leavenworth Wednesday night. But first, we begin tonight. Even with community-wide COVID-19 testing going on in towns throughout north central Washington, the number of cases is falling in most counties. Though still far from meeting state guidelines for a county to change phases under Governor Jay Inslee's Safe Start reopening plan, all counties in the region are showing declines in positive tests. The goal established by Inslee is 25 positive cases per 100,000 population, and that's over a 2-week period. The number for Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanogan counties were more than 500 cases per 100,000 as recently as 2 weeks ago, but the number have been steadily declining since then, and by Tuesday, they had fallen to 256 cases per 100,000 over the past 2 weeks. The improvement is even more promising in Okanogan County, where cases spiked severely in late July and early August. Okanogan County, after reporting no new positive tests on Tuesday, is at 161 cases per 100,000. Meanwhile, Grant County's decline in cases has not been as rapid, with the county currently at about 457 cases per 100,000 residents. But that still is marked improvement over August numbers. We'll have more on our improving COVID numbers coming up in our feature story a little later on in the broadcast. Well, authorities are trying to identify two young men shown on camera in the Lake Chelan School District office early Wednesday morning. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office has released two still images of the men that were taken from surveillance video at about 3:30 a.m. Jason Reinfeld of the Chelan County Sheriff's Office said the two and possibly a third person apparently broke into the office through an open window, did minor damage, and stole a food item. Anyone who can identify the two men or remembers seeing them is asked to call Rivercom's non-emergency line, and that number is 663-9911, or just call the Sheriff's Tip line, and that's 667-6845. The state of Washington is suing the nation's #1 maker of e-cigarette products. Attorney General Bob Ferguson filed suit yesterday against Juul, saying the vaping manufacturer illegally designed and marketed its products to appeal to underage consumers and deceive the public about the addictiveness of its product.
For Juul, they deceptively downplayed nicotine with their product. And as you know, when it comes to nicotine, the impacts on anyone in terms of how addictive that is tremendous. Combine that with young people and you've got a significant problem. So it's our contention, this lawsuit, that Juul did unlawfully target youth with a multifaceted and sophisticated marketing strategy that is detailed in our complaint. They utilize what they called brand ambassadors to specifically reach youth. These were individuals specifically selected for their influence on social media platforms and for their followings as trendsetters with youth. They promoted flavors that would be specifically geared to young people. Cool cucumber, cool mint. Those are flavors and names for flavors that are specifically designed to appeal to young people.
In addition, the lawsuit says Juul operated in Washington without proper licenses, meaning every sale of a Juul product between 2016 and 2018 was illegal. The case was filed in King County Superior Court. Meanwhile, 2 people from Tennessee were injured when a tree fell on their vehicle on Highway 2 west of Leavenworth last night. Washington Patrol Trooper John Bryant said the Jeep Wrangler was traveling west at 5:15 p.m., about 10 miles outside Leavenworth when the tree fell. Injured were the driver, 49-year-old Joseph Kosteleski, and his 38-year-old passenger, Ann Ortmeyer, both of Nashville. Bryant said they were alert and conscious when aid crews arrived, but Ortmeyer had suffered a head injury. Both were transported to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee, where Kosteleski was treated and released, and Ostermeyer was listed currently in stable condition. Well, coming up next, the intensive effort to test Wenatchee Valley communities for COVID-19 is continuing this week in the Bavarian Village. Eastmont Lane says the generosity of the community gives them a fighting chance of staying in business. And Chelan residents interested in serving on the city council have until September 16th to apply for the seat being vacated by Councilman Ray Dobbs, who is moving to East Wenatchee. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Nissan is the value leader in new cars and SUVs. Check out these new models starting at under $20,000. The all-new Versa from $17,020. The all-new Sentra from $17,400. And the all-new Kicks from $17,995. Now you can have the Nissan style, performance, and reliability, all for under $20,000.
And they're all here at Town Nissan, up behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
I have fiber at home because it allows me to do a great job in my profession. It allows me to learn things that I need to learn at home. It allows my kids to hopefully one day be able to be educated because of what they learned online and what they learned from their teachers. And it allows us to have fun too as a family. And we're able to do a lot of things because of fiber internet. I'm Rudy, and my family learns with fiber.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbiss here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today, 509-663-7900.
Welcome back. In another news, the intensive effort to test Wenatchee Valley communities for COVID-19 is continuing this week in the Bavarian Village. The Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery is the site of drive-through community testing like this, carried out Tuesday in Rock Island. State medical resources are on hand there from 2 to 7 p.m. today and Friday, and they plan to return during the same hours Tuesday through Friday next week at Cascade High School. It's part of an effort to get a clearer picture of viral spread in Chelan and Douglas counties, where a state incident management team is now handling the pandemic response. Eastmont Lane says the generosity of the community gives them a, quote, fighting chance, unquote, of staying in business. A yard sale, silent auction, raffle, and vendor booths raised almost $30,000 for the East Wenatchee Bowling Alley last weekend. One Girl Scout raised $426 by herself. The bowling alley has been closed for 5 months after Governor Jay Inslee ordered all non-essential businesses closed, and ownership has said they're struggling to keep up with expenses as the days and weeks go on. On August 20th, Inslee eased restrictions on bowling alleys, allowing establishments in counties in Phase 2 or better of his reopening plan to offer league play. But as you know, Douglas and Chelan counties remain in a modified version of Phase 1 and were not included in Inslee's revised plan. Chelan residents interested in serving on the city council have until September 16th to apply for the seat being vacated by Councilman Ray Dobbs, who's moving to East Wenatchee. Applicants must be at least 18 years old and live within the Chelan city limits. Interested people are being asked to submit a letter of interest stating their background and qualifications to serve on the council. Dobbs announced in August he'll be stepping down effective September 25th. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
The two hottest pickups in America are at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, the Ram 1500 with back-to-back Truck of the Year awards from Motor Trend, and now the Car and Driver 10 Best list for 2020. They call it a luxury sedan with pickup capabilities. Ram is on a roll now with third-generation eco-diesel power. Next up, the Jeep Gladiator, also a 2020 10 Best model based on the new award-winning Jeep Wrangler. It has options and capabilities that no other truck can offer. Two more reasons when it comes to buying a truck: there's no reason to leave town.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. A lot of more than 3,000 agricultural workers tested for COVID-19 at Gebber's Farms recently. Fewer than 1% showed evidence of the virus. That's the word from the State Department of Health, which offered full-scale testing at the Okanogan County Farm Corporation after a major outbreak in July that killed 3 people. Secretary of Health John Weisman says only 22 people tested positive for coronavirus in that study. In tonight's feature story, Weisman also says Washington will be ready to distribute any eventual vaccine for COVID, but the federal rush for a cure needs thorough medical review processes.
Right now, potential vaccines are still in clinical trials that are evaluating them both for safety as well as their effectiveness. In order for a vaccine to be safely distributed, it certainly is our belief that it needs to fully pass through the phase 3 trials. Those are the larger trials with larger numbers of folks for a period of time to assure both, again, the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine. And we certainly expect those trials to be completed before a vaccine is distributed, unless an independent board of scientists says otherwise, that the data coming out of those trials say for whatever reason that it should be stopped sooner. In the meantime, we are building an infrastructure for distribution at the state level, which is work that is already started and is happening now. We want to be ready whenever a vaccine is available, and a vaccine that has been undergone the trials and proven for safety and efficaciousness, and that will be ready when the time comes. This is coming at a time where we recognize trust in institutions is low, and the risk of politics influencing the timing certainly could create complications to people's confidence in that. We certainly at the state want to ensure that the drug is safe and effective, and it is incumbent upon the federal government to make sure that we wait until phase 3 trials are done and an independent board has verified the safety of vaccines.
All right, time for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast as we are set to head into our Labor Day holiday weekend. And I hope you'll have a lot of great plans coming up this weekend. The weather is going to be just perfect for it. It's going to be a lot like today's perfect weather, except warmer. Lots of blue skies as we take a look outside our weather window down at the Wenatchee Valley, and this from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi tower camera. Thanks to LocalTel providing these fantastic shots of our area, and it was a nice one today. Lighter winds out there this afternoon, and unofficially temperatures got well above normal once again. Unofficial high 91 degrees. 81 is our normal high, so 10 degrees above that, and get used to that trend over the next 3 or 4 days. 61 the overnight low this morning, and that's just a few degrees above our normal overnight low of 56. Record high 98 set back in 1988, and record low 46 set back in 1980. Still no new precipitation. We haven't talked about that. Going all the way back to June 15th. That's right, we got 8/100ths of an inch of precipitation, and that's the last real rain that we've seen here in north central Washington. Sunrise this morning, 6:23, and the sun will set tonight early, isn't it? At 7:36. Let's take a peek now at your Friday. A lot of you may be heading out of town to enjoy this long weekend tomorrow, and it couldn't be better for travel around north central Washington. Highs, look at that, 99 in Moses Lake and Ephrata, 98 for Quincy and Ellensburg. Will be about 97 in the Wenatchee area, also for Aniat, Chelan, and up into Omak, even Lake Wenatchee. Head up there tomorrow, high temperature at 90 degrees. We'll show you how we're going to get there in our surface map. Clear skies tonight and a large area of high pressure right here in the desert southwest. This is the big ridge of high pressure, the clouds up and over that, and that's going to bring us all these clear skies and all the warm weather that we will see. Don't be surprised if you see a little smoky haze tonight from the fires down around the Yakima area. For Friday, it'll be hot. We might see record high temperatures all over central and eastern Washington. We'll keep you posted on that as we get there. We're going to see highs in the mid to upper 90s, maybe 100. We just talked about that. For Saturday, sunny, still hot. So enjoy this Labor Day weekend all over the eastern part of Washington. We will be well into the 90s. And as we get into Sunday, maybe a little bit of a breeze moves in. Our high pressure slides down and another area of high pressure slides up, and that could cause some windy conditions Sunday, but don't change your plans. It'll still be unseasonably hot with high temperatures again in the middle 90s. Not sure about wind yet for your Labor Day Monday. Most of the wind looks to our south. We're about right there, so we'll just call it breezy for Labor Day. Things will cool down too. We're talking highs on Monday, mid to upper 80s, and as we get into Tuesday, sunshine and even cooler than that. High temperatures on Tuesday, only in the lower to mid 80s. So we do have a little bit of a change the first couple of days of next week, but Wednesday, right back to that warm weather. Sunshine, another ridge of high pressure builds up and over the Pacific Northwest, and we are talking highs by Wednesday. That's right, back into the middle and upper 80s. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing and Heating 7-day forecast. 94 degrees today, didn't quite get there, but 63 the overnight low tonight, 97 tomorrow, 71 the overnight low for Friday, 96 then on Saturday, 94 Sunday, and then for your Labor Day Monday, really not bad, just a little bit breezy, sunny and cooler with a high of 89, and then the coolest day of all will be on Tuesday with 85 before we get right back into the upper 80s by Wednesday with sunshine. High temperature then 89. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. Today is the day that athletes were rallying at the state capitol to demand fall sports be played this fall. A petition campaign gathered close to 27,000 signatures of supporters who want the WIAA to reconsider its decision to push fall sports to the spring out of concern for the coronavirus. The rally today on the Capitol steps featured Cole Nora, senior football player at Mount Si High School in Snoqualmie, who felt student athletes were not being heard. Besides the desire to play football, soccer, and volleyball this fall, the student athletes point out to youth depression, increased stress on single-parent households, and the inability to obtain college scholarships as reason they want to proceed with the fall sports this month. Well, another group of athletes hoping to play this fall include the Wenatchee Wild hockey team. As part of the BCHL, Wenatchee had its season halted in March just as the playoffs were to begin, and the season for this year has been delayed till December because of the coronavirus. The pandemic has also prevented the Town Toyota Center from being able to open, which has meant no ice since March and none in the foreseeable future. Makes it difficult for Wild General Manager Bliss Littler because he has 25 players coming here in early October to prepare for the upcoming season. That's not to mention the two other programs the Wild operate. Littler says that with other states being open, the players who committed to come to Wenatchee are being deluged with calls to opt out and go elsewhere.
Well, it's tough because those kids are getting calls every day from teams in other leagues that are telling them that Wenatchee's not going to open up, that the border's never going to open, and it's all doom and gloom. And it's tough. It's tough. We're making sure that we're talking to our kids enough, and you have Zoom calls with them, and just giving them the facts that we have. And with that, I think what's been done here the past 12 years, I really think that reputation. It's out there that this is a very good place to play junior hockey. It's one of the special places. It's just a lot of great people here in Wenatchee that it's a great place to play. And so I think that's really helping us right now, that all the work that the kids in prior years have done to make this a great place to play is definitely helping us right now, keeping kids interested in making sure that they're gonna wait and not jump at another offer.
Now, Littler says he's not blaming the Town Toyota Center or its general manager, Mark Miller, on there being no ice. He says it's the governor and the Washington State Safe Start plan that's preventing them from moving forward.
Oh, 100%. Like, Mark, if he could have ice in the building, he would have had it in the building 4 months ago. That's one of the things that pays the bills is ice usage. Whether it's figure skating or hockey, and again, we're not talking about events that have spectators right now. We're just talking about the very minimal, to help the building out. Where they want to pay their bills too.
Littler says the hope is to get Chelan County to the next phase in the Safe Start plan so they can get ice in time for training camp, which starts October 10th. In the meantime, he says the organization is moving forward with plans for their third annual golf tournament to raise money for Seattle Children's Hospital.
Well, anyone that's interested, we're playing at Desert Canyon. So a beautiful golf course, nice and challenging. If you have a team, a 4-person team, call the office. If you want to play as a single, and we'll put you in a group. We do that with a lot of people. Yeah, just call the office and ask for David or Gretchen, and they'll get you hooked up for it. But it's something we're looking forward to.
Phone number for the Wild office if you want to sign up for that October 2nd tournament, 888-7825. That's 888-7825. You can also register online on the Wild's website, WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Well, as the Seahawks continue to prepare for their first game of the season in Atlanta in just 10 days, several questions remain on personnel. Will Chris Carson be able to start at running back? Will the offensive line be better this year? And who's going to start? Will the defense be able to get pressure on the quarterback? What will CenturyLink Field sound like with no fans? Defensive tackle Jaron Reed says he hopes the stadium folks turn the volume up high when the Hawks play at home.
For me, I'll actually like it to be kind of loud, just to get that feeling back. I don't want it to be too quiet, because then I think it's going to be awkward. So, I think we'll make it as loud as, as we can get it without being just annoying loud. But, nothing's going to compare to the 12s, especially playing in CenturyLink. It actually gives you another boost of energy. It sends chills through your body. I'm curious to see how it's going to be. I think, personally, from my opinion, it probably just feel like practice, with some noise. But, at the end of the day, we got to go out there and play.
Now, the Seahawks ranked towards the bottom of the NFL last year in putting pressure on the quarterback. Reed says they are definitely going to do better this season.
First of all, I think we're very hungry, to come back and, get to where we were in 2018. Pass rush is key because, you get more pressure on the quarterback, you can kind of rattle them a little bit, help out the back end guys that's doing their job. So, we put a lot of emphasis on it this year, especially that we need to get to the quarterback. And overall, without trying to do too much, do it within inside the system. Every game is not going to be perfect. There may be a game we don't have a sack, but we're looking for guys to go eat, guys to be hungry, and guys to make plays.
Seattle plays at Atlanta a week from Sunday. The Mariners are back to baseball tomorrow at T-Mobile Park in the first of a 4-game set against Texas. The Rangers will go with Kyle Cody in his first Major League start. Seattle has not yet announced its starter for Game 1. First pitch tomorrow at T-Mobile Park, 6:10. You can catch it on Root Sports or local on the radio at ESPN AM 900. That's a look at sports news. I'm Art Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And finally tonight, if you're planning to go camping over the Labor Day weekend, you can scratch the Wish Poosh campground off your list of potential destinations. The U.S. Forest Service closed the campground north of Cle Elum Wednesday after several recent aggressive encounters between bears and camper. The Forest Service said the campground had been scheduled to close after Labor Day for a construction project, but heavy bear activity forced the early closure. Well, now let's check in with Eric Grandstrom for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Eric?
Well, come on, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, you'll be here, and I'll be ready for sports tomorrow night, so it's kind of weird, right? But we'll figure it out. That's tomorrow on a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley as we get ready to get away for the Labor Day holiday. I know Grant is going to take a specific look at weather. Right, Grant? That's what you're going to do? Yeah, I kind of figured as much. So Grant's here tomorrow, and then he's back in the studio now? I don't know how that works. Grant, back to you.
You got it right, Eric. I'll be doing lots of weather tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be filling in for Dan Kuntz tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley at 7 o'clock live. And Jefferson Robbins will be here tomorrow night in this anchor chair. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@NCWLIFE.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to NCWLIFE.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@NCWLIFE.com or call 888-2020.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.